welcome back to my channel. This is Becky, and I'm going to continue working on helping you understand the root chakra better. In my previous videos, I've done some yoga pose introductions and given you a couple of meditations, talked about the symbol. So today we're going to talk a little bit about some stories that the Oracle deck has for us to learn about what the root chakra does internally as well as externally for us. So, forgive me if I mispronounce some of these things. I'm new to the Eastern practices. It says, "He who knows others is learned. He who knows himself is wise." Lao Tzu, the Tao Te Ching. All right, so welcome to your journey with the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. The stories associated with the cards in this deck are the result of the author's own spiritual journey that began with a near-death experience in 1988. They'd always had a touch of psychic, myself included, from my grandmother, who was of the Cherokee Nation, taught me things very early on that my Pentecostal grandfather did not approve of. So as my grandmother would say, but one day things got really interesting when they suffered a strange dehydration and had passed out. She had left her body and floated up into the light. Now, I've astral projected since I was small, so I could see where this would be scary for people who weren't used to that, and how it could trigger, some deeper insight and wisdom needed to understand what they were experiencing. When they regained consciousness, the angels began talking to this person. When the angels began talking to me with my incident was when I was 5 years old. So for 45 years, I've been blessed with a very strong connection with the angels. And it was just serendipitous that I find this oracle deck. But I always kept this to myself because, like I said, religious people do not want to hear the Gnostic teachings about Jesus, at least the ones that I've met. So I'm looking forward to meeting more Gnostics out there who understand what I'm trying to say and teach and how I'm trying to guide people. So the angels had found a direct route to me. Over the next 5 years, they received what that person believed to be simple children's stories or fables, right? The universes and gods and the angels and every being, because we're all one, they can connect to us. Believe me, I've had many people that mess with my metaphysics trying to convince me to do what they want. So if you're experiencing some of that and you think you're going crazy, go ahead and reach out at homans.consulting@gmail.com so we can chat about your situation and how I can help. So the angels insisted that they write their stories down, which are these oracle stories that I'll be sharing with you. Okay, she had no idea what to do with these stories, so she locked them in a drawer for nearly 20 years. All right, next month I turn 50. I like to say I'm 21 with 29 years experience, but I look nothing like what I've been through, and I want to be able to teach other people how to do that. So you may be wondering what sparked my interest in these stories after so long. Well, I wish the explanation were more spiritual, but the truth is, my friend, that a very talented graphic designer came to me distraught because he was in trouble financially. He needed to earn $2,000 by the end of the week, and it was already Tuesday. As we spoke, I looked into a drawer for a notepad and came across the original fable writings. There in front of me was the fable of the carrot-colored cloak, which relates to the perseverance card that we'll get to. It's on page 28 in this book, but this story is all about not quitting before the miracle takes place. And that was the message to this graphic designer. I reminded him that we never earn money, we attract it. People want to know, how do you make your money? I make my money in lots of ways. God always provides. Where there looks to be no path, he can make a way, but you have to have faith and you have to believe and you have to do the work, the inner healing. And I can help you with that if that is something you really want to do. I explained that he had set an intention and a belief above all else that it could happen. I turned him loose with the fable and the meditation, and of course, to make the phone calls for work. I mean, believe in God, but like your Taurus, right? I mean, you still have to navigate, so you can't just put your order into the universe and then just wait for it to deliver like a pizza, right? Like, you actually have to go and get the ingredients, and the universe will give them to you, and then you gotta like take it home, and then you gotta clean the vegetables, and then you gotta chop it up and prep it, and then you gotta cook it, and then you have your delicious meal, right? Too many people are expecting God just to like instant deliver. And it's like, no, that's not how this works. You actually have to do the work. So Thursday morning, a client, he said, hadn't heard from in over a year, finally phoned him. He needed a rush job and would pay him the $2,000 the following day if he could do it overnight. My nose is itching, sorry. Money can come out of nowhere. Miracles can happen. People can flow in and out, especially in today's society. We get instant manifestations now. So that's why you gotta be careful what you're thinking and feeling and what you're pulling towards you. If you want poverty experiences, you're gonna get those. You want wealthy, luxury, easy life experiences, you'll get those. So they did the rush job, and the graphic designer was convinced in the power of manifesting. And within 2 months, he had created $16,000. So don't worry about what number is in that bank account. I've gone from negative to 6 figures to negative to 6 figures. It's all about perspective. And if you're investing what little you've got into godly missions, then God will keep making sure the money comes into your hands. But if you mismanage what little he gives you, well, he's not going to give you more. He's going to say, well, you couldn't handle that little bit, which is why sobriety is a big thing for me. I want to help people master that, because that's where you can really lock into your galactic powers. All right. Over time, as I worked with the fables and they helped more and more people, I realized that together, the fables embodied in these cards formed a spiritual toolkit. Because they appear so whimsical, they catch us off guard and give us lessons without the lecture, preparing us for life's challenges. Each fable was told to the author by a different angel with its own unique voice, which is why the stories are so individual. The fables all come to me in distinct colors, each one bathed in a hue that created a backdrop for the story. Each individual color powerfully conveyed its fable's message in a visual way. While concepts can be hard to grasp, color is universal and offers an alternative way to grasp the heart of the story. I soon realized that the color of each fable naturally reflected one of the colors of the 7 major chakras, these wheels of energy in the human body. As each chakra represents specific life areas such as communication or spirituality, another vital layer of information emerged through this connection. Now, all 7 energy centers are in your spine. So again, that's another reason why I promote physical health and wellness and spine protection. Because believe me, I've had my spine fractured at least 3 times and have other issues that I've had to have outpatient procedures for, and had a doctor tell me I'd end up in a wheelchair, like all kinds of craziness. So God does work miracles, but you have to work God's programming, not man's programming, and not your own ego's programming. So it's a tightrope. It is a tightrope, and I can help you with that balancing act if you like. The highest chakra, which is the crown chakra, is often visualized as violet. However, in the fables that the angels revealed to this author, the highest chakra was associated with neutral colors such as white, gray, and taupe. I believe this is because spirit, the universal consciousness outside of us, is itself neutral. Now, normally I would say violet and purples are noted for the crown chakra because that color represents royalty. And yes, we can all be spiritual royalty if we do the work. This, at least in America, it is not designed for you to do the work. It's designed to distract you from God's work. So that's why God pulled me out of my 30-year programming of, the business that I was building in the 3D and said, all right, I need you to do that in the 5D. And I'm like, me? Okay. So if you're at that point, you're right where you need to be. And when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So you didn't find me just randomly. The universe wanted you to hear this message. All right, so then it hit me. I took a look at the chakras as they applied to me. If our spiritual relationship with God of our understanding is our own, why not also our understanding of our chakras? If they reside inside of us all, they must have a personal meaning for each and every one of us. Let me cite this example. You walk into a store to buy a pair of shoes. Does one size fit all? Of course not. And what if, like us, our chakras are ever changing to reflect our circumstances? What if we could use cards to read our chakras and pinpoint exactly what is going on with us? What? No need for medical? Because we are self-healing? And if you know how to use the tools, they lose money. So, all right. I believe that our chakras are ever evolving and that we can read our own internal chakra state easily using cards. And then when you get really good at reading yourself, then you can read others. And you don't even have to know them. I can read people all the way on the other side of the world that I've never met before by just looking at their picture. That's how good you can get. Now, I've been doing this for 45 years. So this isn't something that I just, read these magical cards and it happened. No, you need guidance. So that's where I come in, or other teachers that are out there, because I'm not the only one that's doing this. I'm just one of many light workers, shadow workers that's out here, grid workers that are trying to help uplift humanity and help the earth through its ascension, as well as all the people, places, and things that are attached to the earth, because the earth is its own deity. And believe me, if it's going to be one or the other, the earth is going to win. And anyone who doesn't evolve and align with nature, well, then they'll perish. Our chakras relate to our lives today, not just to some theory in ancient books. To help you understand this, each chapter in this book opens with a look at how the relevant chakra relates to you. The insights you receive as you learn about each chakra will make this a profoundly personal experience. All the information that you need is already within you. And this is so true, and I know it's frustrating, but it's true. This is, as my motto says, enlightenment made simple. Okay, that's why my prices are as expensive as they are. I do offer some pro bono work and like fee assisted plans for God's chosen, but the gifts that I've been given, I have to stay in alignment with what God tells me. So if I can't work with somebody, it is not personal, it is spiritual. Okay, so please don't send any more hate mail. Please, no more hate messages, because there's one of me and 8 billion humans on the planet. So I apologize. I understand that every life is precious, but God has assigned certain lives for me to intervene in. And he tells me not to intervene in others because they're in lesson. So you have to expect that God's in control of everybody. And so if I can't do what you want, it's not because I don't want to. All right, it's because God's saying I can't. All right. How do we set the intentions with these cards? So, as well as using these cards to answer direct questions or shed more light on a particular situation, you can also use them to help you set intentions and manifest whatever your heart desires. So for me, 2026 is all about health. Mental wellness, physical health, spiritual health, interpersonal communication health, like everything that's going to be healthy is what my focus is for 2026. So it makes sense that the universe would give me my own personal little oracle deck here that would help me with improving my spine health. Because believe me, I don't want to end up in a wheelchair. But I don't get to just say, oh, you've lost 165 pounds, you're done. No, now I have to maintain. I have to keep my spine moving and doing its job. So, believe me, I don't like to exercise, but I am disciplined like a spiritual warrior to know that if I don't take care of my body, nobody else will, right? So we have to make ourselves our number one priority. Even if that upsets the people around us, they'll understand. Before starting to work with the cards, it's important to have a clear idea of what you really want. So write down what you desire in these areas of your life: the personal, financial, and creative. And I believe that once you get your chakras in alignment, once you're in alignment with God, once you have Jesus in your heart and you are fully heart activated, then fame and fortune and success are the cherry on top. So I'm here to help you take the ingredients that you've got on your kitchen counter that just seem too overwhelming to put together to create this beautiful cake. And I'm there to help you go through the recipe and say, okay, what are you wanting in that cake? All right, let's put it in there. Let me help you put that cake together. And then we can celebrate at the end, right? So set your intentions. And I believe personal and creative lead to the financial. Don't put financial first, because then the devil can give you shiny things. The devil can walk in and give you $1 million man, and then and he's of the devil. Stick to yourself, what your gifts are, amplify you, and then God will bless you with more. So first, personal. This could be anything from a love relationship to a new circle of friends. Choose just one thing to work on at a time. Make a list of pros and cons of bringing this thing into your life. Then number 2, money. Leaving out the how. Simply come up with the amount that you wish to manifest each month. Just looking at the numbers can give you a sense of relief, and by making your intention tangible, you offer the universe a signal that you're ready for change. See, the universe waits on you. You have to take the first step, and then the universe matches that. If you don't take that first step, the universe is going to say, okay, you're comfortable where you're at, and you get to stay there. But you have to put your baby steps, still get you where you need to go. And we have creative. How do you choose to express yourself? Write down your goals, whether you want to create special effects for the movies, make pottery, or lose some excess weight. State your goals positively. Say, I'm committed to being in great physical health, instead of, I'm not going to be fat anymore. Now, list all the reasons why you must have these goals. Once you have a clear idea of each intention, then we can use the cards to do readings on it and to check its strength and to learn more about its meaning and how to achieve it. Once a week, we'll go through your list of what you intended to manifest, then pick a card. Read the fable and allow its words and meaning to bring you new awareness in manifesting your intentions. Now, what do you do with the cards? Well, you're going to meditate with the card. In each card profile is a meditation. A few deeply contemplative minutes provide a perfect way for interacting with the fable. Once you have freed yourself from distractions, read the meditation. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, relax, and allow your mind to journey into the meditation. We've been programmed out of our creativity and daydreaming, and I want to help you get back into doing that. Try to accept whatever happens and do not judge yourself. Not all meditation is profound. When you are ready, open your eyes. And if you like, write down your experience. And remember that meditation is simply time spent with yourself, an opportunity to get in touch with the things that matter most to you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the introduction to this, and I look forward to talking with you in the next video. Thank you for being here and supporting my channel. If you could like, subscribe, share, do all the things, and hit the notification bell so you know when new content comes out, I'd appreciate it. And I hope you have a great day.